Hi, Joanna.
Hello, Paul.
How
How
are
are
you?
you?
Good. Listen, this is Joanna O'Kane. Some of you will know her, some of you won't. Joanna is a shamanic practitioner and finished her advanced course in training. She's also a Kambo practitioner. She did the training there in the Azores there last year, and she's also a feng shui expert. She'll say she's a feng shui practitioner, but to me, she's a feng shui expert. I had the honor of meeting Joanna in Wexford, I don't know, many years ago now, where we attended the course with Amanda Collins. I didn't really keep it up, but Joanna has flown since with it, and really we felt that what we needed to do was to bring this medicine to you, and to share it with you, because in our life it's been life changing, and it's so important that people are aware of it, because things can be going on in your life, abundance, sickness, health, stagnation in your work, stagnation in your home, all these kind of things. Now, feng shui is a very, very, very old, a very proven medicine that works. I can tell you that I believe this 100%. So, Joanna, you're very welcome, darling. How are
Thank
you?
you very much, dear.
Yeah, good. So maybe we should start and just tell them, about feng shui, where it came from, about how it was first discovered in a way, in a few words, and then we can go into them. What is what
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Feng Shui is it's over 4,000 years old. It is a very, very old scientific calculation. And
Yes.
for years, when I worked with interior design, for years it was Feng Shui was about moving the furniture and about what colours does come into it. But it was all this old school that you had to move this and you had to move that, and it drove me mad until I discovered that it was more scientific, and it was more like acupuncture for the home. That once you put in the remedies and the elements that were needed, that it just started changing the whole energy. Now I know I'm going off script of what you were asking there, but I just feel it's it is scientific, but to me it's unbelievable. It's magical the way it makes your home feel and the way it makes you feel.
And not alone your home, because I know a business we were both involved in, a thing. You've actually you changed the total flow and outcome of that business through feng shui.
Through Feng Shui, there were people that weren't working and that couldn't get rid of them. And once the Feng Shui started doing its job, that those people walked out themselves. They because the energy was positive and it was getting balanced, and they had to leave. And that business became so positive then
Yeah.
regarding the staff, and because they were getting so much work in, but there never seemed to be any money.
Mm.
So
Mm.
they're now they're able to hold on to the money, and they're able to hold on to the
Mm.
good staff, and they're all healthy. There's no one out
Mm.
sick and stuff, so it helps all in that aspect too.
Yeah, but in fairness, the guy that's in that business is really, really
Oh,
awake, and but it just shows that it works not alone with homes, it works with business. So, like, if we explain to the people, you talk about acupuncture, but I also feel it's like an astrological imprint, isn't it, on the house? So, when we go to get the reading of a place, it's to do with when the house was built, isn't that right?
it's basically like your birth chart of the house.
Mm,
It's you have to take, as they say, the facing and the sitting of the house, and it's not always the front door. Because
okay.
your house could be facing, there could be this beautiful big window onto a forestry or onto an ocean or onto these beautiful fields, but the front door could be in the opposite side of the house. So you're facing, you always take the most active side and the most beautiful scenic side. And if you walk up to the house what side of the house looks more attractive and is more welcoming. So that would be
Okay.
your facing. So we would take the compass directions of that, and we always need the date that the roof went on.
So the reason the date the roof went on is because that's
When
the
the energy,
the energy of the stars was in the sky at that time. So that's like an astrological reading for the house. So when they put the
that's
roof on, isn't that right? It entrapped that energy in the house.
just, yes, it traps that sky energy and the earth energy.
Yes.
The whole lot is just trapped into that space. Well, not trapped, but held into that space, and that's the energies then that are going through the whole house. And
Yeah.
if we say to people, when was the roof if the roof was removed, we mean the whole roof, including ceiling. And that's the only time that the date would change on the house being built, is if the ceiling and the roof are removed, so the sky energy can come back down into the house again.
So it kind of has to be off for a period of 2 weeks or something. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. To give a new imprint.
Yeah.
Because I remember what you call saying, our teacher saying, Amanda, about how there was this business and somewhere in America, and so many people had gone through it, and there was nothing but bad luck in it. Do you remember that? They took the roof off it for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it changed the whole energy of it.
Changed everything. Yeah. Changed everything. I mean, you could go from having a house or a building that is supporting you to having the complete opposite by changing. It all depends on when it happened, the dates it happened, and it gives you the period the house belongs to then, you see, and it changes that whole thing.
So then really what governs the energy of the house is the sitting and the facing and the astrological imprint.
Yeah.
And that's what you take your readings from, isn't that right?
From, yeah.
So then you can have 4 different types of houses, isn't that right?
You can have a house that completely supports the people, the health, relationships, finances, prosperity. Completely supports the whole lot. Then you can have a house that is the complete opposite, that will support nothing whatsoever of the people or their prosperity. Then you have 2 other houses, which one is it supports the people and relationships and the health, but doesn't support the financial side of it. And then you have the opposite of that, which supports the finances and the money, but doesn't support the people or the health or the relationships. And that's, would you believe, is the house that I'm on.
That's say that again.
The house that doesn't support the people or the health or the relationships, but it does support money.
Okay, yeah. So you better quickly tell them that this can be fixed.
Oh, it can, because that last house is the house that I'm living in. It's known as a double facing house, where financial wise it supports us, and money that comes in we can hold on to it, and we always have funds to pay for stuff. But my health was getting worse all the time, and we couldn't understand what it was. And it was through Feng Shui I found out that the house was not supporting people, health, relationships, and I needed mountain support outside the house. So I had to get 2 huge stone planters that were the height of my front door to give me that mountain support. Even though Donegal was full of mountains, but the house itself, because we're kind of going up on a height, and we were higher than the wall as well, there was no earth support for the house. So as soon as I put in the 2 planters at the front door, things started changing within the house. I mean, she'll look at me. I went from, sitting in a corner like a hermit for years, not driving, having crutches in every room and walking sticks, to, I'm driving, I'm back out working, I'm back out doing courses, I'm happy.
Flying.
I'm flying, exactly. I'm a mother again, and I'm I'm a partner again. I'm not just Joanna sitting in a corner.
Yeah.
So there are remedies for every type of house. Same way there are remedies for the different energies within the house.
So in our house was a double sitting house then, which meant it was good for people but bad for money.
Exactly. So you would have been working, you and Melanie would have been working constantly, but
100%.
never seeing the financial aspect of it, having no prosperity. It was just constant work, but nothing to show for it.
Mm.
So, and then once you put the water remedy out, you had to go out the back with the water remedy, and please God, that'll change
Yeah,
everything for you now.
it's changing already. So the house is good for money and good for health. There's nothing need to be done with it. And then there's a double.
Unless you want to further support it. If you want to
Yeah,
further support that house, you can put in your mountain and water at front and back.
yeah. That's the reverse house, is it?
No, that's the Wong Shong Wong Shui if you
Oh,
want to further enhance it.
okay. Okay, I didn't know that now. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the double sitting is where you put, or no, the reverse is where you add HTO
No,
to the sitting and mountain
the
to the hill.
reverse is, yeah, there's no support whatsoever in the reverse.
So just explain, when we're talking about mountain, it doesn't mean that you put a mountain outside your door, right?
No, you need to put an earth element. It
Yeah.
has to be stone or cement or porcelain. It has to be made of earth, and it
Mm.
has to be either 4 foot high or the height of your front door. Some front door handles, sorry, the height of your
Front
front
door
door.
handle, yeah, that's right.
The front door handle. Some
Yeah,
handles, you see, some people can go up steps to the front door, so then their handle's even higher up. So
that's
it
right.
has to be out of your front door,
Yeah,
or if it's going out to the garden, it can be 4 foot tall. But that earth stone as or statue or whatever it is, that is your mountain support.
yeah, and that doesn't have to be directly beside the front door. It can be out from the front door,
It
out
can
in your
be
garden, but
exactly.
it has to be the height. And then the water, sometimes the water, it depends. Sometimes you might have to put the mountain to the back and the water to the front. But
Depending on the type of house, yeah.
yeah, and the water then is governed by the square area of your house, isn't that right?
Exactly. The total square footage of your house, yeah, determines how much
Yes,
water is needed. And the water needs to be moving constantly and it
yeah,
needs to be open to the
yes,
elements.
yeah, to the elements. Yeah, yeah. No, that's a good explanation. Thanks for that because um, we were doing all the feng shui for the last couple of years, and we didn't have the water element into the back. We weren't we didn't realize we were a double sitting house, and as um, Joanna said, working like a dog, and both of us, and it was coming in, but it was like
Back out again.
back out again. But the minute we put the water in, man, we could feel the change. We could feel the ground, and we could feel the stuff. And we know this year that whatever the because of that actual energy, it's the thing is more profound. It's grounded. We feel stronger within the space and everything. But it makes an awful difference. So
Doesn't it?
it does. So then when you put all these things into fact, the house then is broke up into just this chart here into 9 bagwas.
Yes.
So it
Just a wee tip, a thing there about the outside remedies. Once they're put outside, that's them for life. You don't have to change them again.
yes. I remember being in a house, Joanna,
Need.
and the woman was very, very sick. And the husband had to give up work to look after her. And when I ran the numbers on the house anyway, a mountain had to go to the front of the house, but also in one of the rooms, I think, is it 5s and 7s? But the energy came up as suicide. I forget the numbers now. And I just actually said to them, I said, look, who sleeps in that room there? And she said, I do. I said, have you ever thought of suicide? She said, yes, many times. So the energy in the room was bringing that medicine up.
Isn't it really eye-opening when you see it?
Yeah, unbelievable. So I do my work, and when I know that it needs other work like feng shui, I can see some of the stuff, but I don't practice feng shui, so I don't do it. Call you, so
Yeah.
go-to thing to do work for them. So just explain to them then. What happens is the ear dictates how you place the numbers in the house, isn't it?
Yeah, the year the roof went on,
Yeah.
and your compass directions.
Yeah.
Gives you permanent numbers that are in each area
Yes.
of the home.
Yeah.
And then every year we have an annual number, an annual energy that comes into the house. That changes every single year.
Yes, that's right. Just explain that. So we'll just go on to the Bagwas in a minute, but just explain another thing before we move into the house or move in. The locks.
Oh yes, yes, you can.
Yeah.
Well, every single building will go into a lock. They will go into a money lock.
Explain what a lock is to them as well.
A money. It's where the building is the energy is completely locked. So I mean, you can go into the money and people locks. You can go in it annually, just for the year, or you can go in it for a 20-year lock. We also have them daily and monthly and weekly. So I mean, you could have a week where you're saying, flipping hell, the money's just going. I don't know where it's going. I haven't spent anything extra, but it's gone. That week you could be in a money lock, or a week there's a lot of sickness in the house. You could be in a people lock.
Okay.
So what happens there is the people lock, it'll affect your health. And it'll also affect if you have an ailment or you have a weakness in your body and it gets hurt, it'll take longer to heal once the house is in a lock. It will also affect any workmen that come around the house, and it'll affect your own work because, again, anything to do with people, human beings, it's been locked. So it'll affect fertility, and it'll affect sickness, and it'll affect work, and it'll affect even you earning money because you'll get sick or you'll get hurt or something. It's unbelievable. And then you have the money lock, which is no matter what you do, money's not going to stay. There'll be problems in the house, there'll be leaks, something will get broken, or the car will be needing to be fixed, or you'll have to get a new fridge. You'll find constantly having to spend money that you don't have, and that's when the house is or the building is in a money lock, because it happens every single building.
Okay, but the good news, that can be overcome.
It can be, yes. Once again, you place your moving water outside your house. Now, for particular years, there are certain areas that are better for the water. But if you have a lock, having water outside the house that's moving towards the house is best. It will stop any lock. So if you have a house that's overlooking the ocean or a river or a lake, you're never going to go into a lock.
Okay. So just say, for example, then we have a house that has a mountain to the front and water to the back. So in a lock here, you actually have to put water as well to the front. Is that correct?
Well, it can go anywhere outside for a lock.
Yeah. So if you have a house where there is the mountain in and the water's already in, you won't have a lock. Is that what you're saying? Okay. That's cool.
So, like this year, my house has gone into a money lock.
Okay.
And next year, I'm going into a people lock.
Okay.
So I'm in the middle of making a wee fountain outside.
Okay.
To stop me. Well, it's not finished yet, but it will be. But it'll stop me then going into further locks, because I mean we do go into hourly and daily and weekly and monthly locks, but it's to stop all those locks, but especially you don't want to end up going into a 20-year lock.
No. So the fact that you'll put that in and you don't need it in your house, but if you leave that there forever, it'll stop all locks.
Exactly.
All right. Okay. Cool. Thanks for that. Now, the other thing I just want to explain to them is the Bagwas. When you talk about the Southeast, you talk about prosperity, you talk about the South fame and thing, and they're very important. Explain Bagwas first. The house is broken up.
Yeah, we would need to get the floor plan of the house. We then would section off the floor plan. We make a grid of nine squares, which is the Bagua.
I just put it up here just to show them a Bagua.
Yes, exactly like that. Now, not all houses are going to be perfect rectangles or squares.
No.
You could have extensions, or you could have missing areas where that is taken away, that energy a bit. Now, having a missing area in a place where there's bad energy numbers is great, because it means it's not going to be affecting you.
Yeah.
But intentionally wise, like as you were saying, the Southeast for prosperity and the south for getting your name out there, it will affect you in that sense if you have any missing areas.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
but so we would work with intentional feng shui like that there. So like
Yeah.
for the southeast, we'd recommend putting in a little abundance corner, you know, and have overflowing bowls of money. It can be chocolate gold money, you know, and coins all mixed in, and it can be crystals, and you know, and in the south we would recommend putting up your diplomas and stuff, because that is where you shine your light.
Okay.
The north represents career, so we would say, you know, put something that represents you and your partner's career in the north of the house. That's intentional feng shui.
Yeah.
Then, as you know, we also work with classical feng shui, which is taking in the permanent energies from the flying stars, from the, and that's a different kettle of fish.
That's a different kettle of fish, yeah. When you work with the numbers around,
Yeah,
because they tell the story within the room, within that space.
they
And
do. They tell that energy. It's like doing that deep kind of astrology for somebody,
yes,
or that
yes,
night star key, or you know,
yeah.
whatever they go. It's the same kind of thing. So your southeast, you might have an abundance corner intentionally, but your permanent numbers could be the complete opposite. So this is where the classical feng shui is powerful once you do the reading.
Yeah,
And you
no,
get the
we'll explain that in a few minutes. So then in the northeast, just to tell the people, it's the knowledge and self-building. East is teamwork and growth. The center is very important, isn't it?
Paul, center is all to do with unity and health and
Yes.
self-love and self-acceptance.
Yeah.
Now, wait, I tell you, I started decluttering my house. I think it was about 2 years ago, and I started after I did the first course with you, and I was starting to feel,
Yeah.
that bit stronger. Says, right, I'm gonna start decluttering that. I never realized I have the storeroom, and it's in the center of the house. I must have had 20 crutches
In
in
the
the
in the storeroom.
yeah. Must have between walking aids, crutches, walking sticks, all hidden in that storeroom. I pulled the whole lot out, and I gave to, you know, those companies that take them out
Yeah.
foreign. I says, no wonder my health is not getting any better when I've all that in the center of the home. It's all to do with unity and health and self-love. And sure, how did I have any of that when I had all these walking aids in the center of the home? So it is so important to know what is in each area and have it decluttered.
Yeah, and something similar happened to us. We had a picture of someone in our health area unknown to us, and that person wasn't very well. But when we took that picture out of there and put it into the West, where the family, the
Yes.
family, yeah, is it what the West?
East, the West is creativity in children and
Oh
new
yeah,
beginnings. Mm.
into yeah, we moved it. I'm not sure where we moved, but the whole energy changed. So
Yeah,
that picture should have been in the East, is it?
yeah, family and communities for the East.
Family and community. I thought creative community. Oh yeah, family and community. Oh yeah, I'm looking at the wrong one. Oh yes, 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 yes. Family and community feed. But it just the whole energy it changed
Yeah,
like that with
it
the two.
would.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because you had someone representing illness in the
In the,
center.
that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, and it was projecting out into the house.
Oh, because as you know, I'm decluttering again. I'm doing a huge big gut out this time. And
Yeah,
I was working up in the southwest of my house, which is my dressing room. And it
yeah,
has been kept for years. I was gutting it out the other day, and what did I find in the corner, the actual southwest corner? All the letters from doctors and consultants over the years about
Jesus.
my illness. And I was
Yeah,
like, no
you're holding on
wonder.
to it.
Yeah. And my relationship has always been that Kevin was this carer.
Yeah,
And sure, how could he not have been when all that was in the
exactly.
southwest, which represents love, relationships, marriage,
Yeah.
and the whole lot was banned.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Southwest, I remember going to Dublin one time. I was doing a house in Blackrock, and this girl, she was separated, and she was looking for to meet someone, right? So she was aware of the Southwest, and the Love Corner, and all this kind of thing in her house, and she had pictures of lovely men up there. She kept meeting gay guys, right? So instead of having pictures of couples and in
Yeah.
pairs, so she was telling me she thought it was so funny. She kept going out beating all these games, even though her intention was good.
Yeah, yeah.
Her methodology was wrong. You know, you know. But
It's like someone coming along and saying, I don't know why I'm so single. And all you
yeah,
see is single photos of them up. You
yeah.
know, the intentional thing she plays is powerful.
Remember, we were in a house and we were in a bedroom. Do you remember that bedroom we were in? Do you want to
Yeah.
tell them that story?
My goodness, yeah, they were having marriage issues, as you know.
Yes.
And he moved out and everything. And we walked down to the room just to have a look. And here she had the two lockers on either side of the bed because bedrooms should be balanced all the time.
Mm.
But they had this wall, fake wall behind their bed with their wardrobe behind it. I mean, it was full of clutter. So, I mean, that was
Yes,
bad enough, that energy around their heads when they're sleeping. But on his side of the locker, the light was broken.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah, the light was,
Yeah.
he never fixed it. So his light was dim and her
Yeah.
light was bright. And that's exactly how he was feeling. He was depressed and he was thinking suicidal and he had to leave home. And then there was something else missing on the locker.
There is. I forget now,
Yeah, she had
but
it on her side and he didn't have it on his side, and it
that's
was
right.
missing. I was there. I said to you, I says, look at the way it is. It's no, no
Yeah. Yeah. No
wonder.
wonder. Yeah. But
And
like,
then they had something lovely on the dresser, but it was cracked, but the crack was facing the mirror. So
yes,
the crack was,
enhanced it.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it
Yeah.
was no wonder the
Yeah.
relationship was having problems. But we
Yeah.
soon sorted that out.
Yeah. 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 But that's just to tell just to get the point across to you that when you walk into a place, you can see these things, but it's someone that's trained to do it that will know it. But just know that all these things can be rectified. So also,
And always beware of your pictures and paintings in the house.
okay,
People forget about that. Because
mm,
that same woman had this beautiful, beautiful piece of art as you walked into the kitchen, but it was
yes,
all squares. And it was a face that was distorted. You know, there was a nose up here and a mouth down here, and all different things. And it was a lovely piece of art. But I looked at my sister. I says, "Do you suffer headaches or sinus problems or anything like that?" And she said she did, and her son did. And it was that I
this
knew
picture,
straight away. Yeah, because
yeah,
it was all over the place. So one thing you should always just be aware of what paintings and pictures you have. It's like a
yeah,
stormy scene represents a stormy relationship, a stormy life. Same way a boat attached to a pier that's very still and kind of stagnant, and the boat is wearing away. What's that going to do to your
yeah,
relationship in your life? It's
yeah.
going to represent the same thing. So just be aware of what you have up in your
Yeah,
wall.
yeah. Miranda telling us the story about this guy. He had a company. She was introduced. It was very turbulent. Things were not going well in it. Just as you said, he had a picture behind him of this boat in real rough seas. So it's projecting that energy out to the company.
That's yeah,
Yeah. And there was another one where a guy had been a vet from Vietnam. Remember that story? Had a picture of his buddies in his room, and he was completely depressed. I think they were all killed or something, except for him. But when he removed the picture, his life changed.
yeah. He's able
Yeah,
to sleep and everything. Yeah.
see, all these things, it's all about the flow of the chi and the energy within the place.
Oh, completely. And what you're putting out there, what you're
Exactly.
actually saying to
To
the
the
to the
universe.
universe.
To
Yeah.
the universe, yeah. So we talked a little bit about it before, and the bug was, and we talked about the numbers. So when we have the numbers in certain rooms, you have to put certain remedies in to counteract the negative
Yeah.
force energies, isn't that
Yeah.
right?
It'll either neutralize the negative energy or it will enhance the positive energies. But
Yes,
there will be a balance. It's
yeah,
like this year, the annual two, which is known as
yeah.
the sickness star. It's in the east of every single building this year.
Okay,
So if your bedroom is in the east, you need to make sure it really is clutter free and the chi can flow, and not to spend a lot of time there, because the annual numbers that come in every year are strong because they only come in for the year. So you have to be careful. And the 5 is in the northwest, which is
Okay.
the mishaps and the accidents. And, so someone could be saying, oh, such and such a thing happened, or we started building and there's nothing but bother, and the builders are sick, or there's accidents. And usually it's where the 2 or the 5 have been, the annual stars are, because they'll cause mishaps and sickness and accidents, and anything that's going to happen will happen there. And this year, the annual 5 is in the northwest.
Okay. So it's to be careful. But these things can be counteracted with, just explain the remedies that we use.
Yeah, when we would mention remedies, like the 2 and the 5 are known as bad earths. So we would remedy them using a certain weight of metal. And the metal cannot be plastic coated or any, like the way you can buy weights now in different shops, but there's this rubber coating or plastic coating. They're no good. The metal has to be breathable. It has to be able to breathe and to rust and stuff. So it has to be that pure metal. And again, depending on your floor size, depends on the weight of the metal that's needed. But the metal, it's like metal comes from the earth. So you have a bad earth star in your house, like a 2 and a 5, by putting heavy metal there, it's weakening that earth.
Yeah, we have 45 pounds in a few places in the house, so it can be different. And then you have fire remedies then as well.
You have fire. Fire is the only remedy that color can be used. Color red or a bright purple or a bright fluorescent yellow or pink. They're all very fiery colors, and bright orange. So if you're needing fire in an area, it just means maybe a red cushion or a
salt lamp works there too, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, it depends again on the number, because salt lamp is red earth, so it's fire and earth.
Okay.
But if you're needing fire to, let's say, melt the metal stars, you don't want earth to feed the metal.
I know we have a salt lamp in our southeast, in our abundance place. I'm not sure. I don't know if that's the right thing to have in there. Maybe
I'll double check that for you.
Just put the right thing in it. Yes, okay. So then there's fire, and then there's water.
Then there's water, where you need to use actual water. Usually, a litre of moving water, a quart of moving water is enough. And make sure the fountain is faced towards the house. Because if you have the water flowing and it's facing your door, your prosperity is going out the door. So always have it that it's facing within the house.
Okay, that's interesting, because I've one down the end of the hallway here. It's actually facing the front door, the small one. So I'll have to
move that or turn it around. Yeah,
turn it around to face the other wall.
Yeah, face it towards it and into the house.
Okay, I didn't know that. No. Jesus, this has been very beneficial already. And I think the other one then is salt lamps, isn't it? Is that
the other one was red earth? Yeah, salt lamps.
Red earth, yes.
You can use as long as it is a red salt lamp, orangey red, not a white salt lamp.
Yeah.
And you can also use terracotta vases or pots, or because that's all it is. And so you could use those. And there's also an earth remedy, which we would recommend just using stones, or we would take stones from outside, or if you had ceramic statues and stuff.
Yeah.
That would work as earth.
Okay.
And then another remedy would be wood.
Oh yeah, that's right.
When it comes to wood, it has to be living plants. It can't just be, someone they thought that they put in wood and they put in a wooden breadboard.
Okay.
They didn't realize wood has to be living, has to be thriving, moving.
Okay.
And that's a good healthy plant would be wood.
Okay.
That you would put in.
Okay.
And we always recommend not to have any blues or blacks in a bathroom.
Blues or blacks, okay.
Yeah, because there's so much water in a bathroom, and blue and black are water colors. So there's too much water there. And if you do have a blue or black bathroom and that you cannot retile, put in some earth, put in stones into the corner, and put in earthy coloured towels. And if you have room and the light, put in a plant, because plants are great for absorbing water.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Even intentionally. So putting a plant into your bathroom and a green mat and some earth-coloured tiles, it'll change the energy in that already.
Then there's salt lamps, salt cures.
Oh, the salt cures. Oh, have you got yours on?
Yes.
Are
You
they
could feel it.
working like
Wow.
the truthers?
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Sorry, one of the other remedies is the moving metal.
Oh, yes, that's right. Sorry about that. Yeah.
That's what, moving metal. Yeah, moving metal is usually with the heavy metal. With moving metal, even a small clock.
With the face off it.
Yeah, and the hands moving, as long as it's metal hands.
Yes,
and you have to have 3 hands.
Yes.
You know, you have your hour, your minute, and the seconds, and it's that seconds hand that is constantly moving, which is your moving metal. And make sure it is metal, and always in metal colors, never red, never black. Try and have them gold, silver, pastel tones, whites, stuff like that there.
Okay.
Yes, and then we were saying the saltwater cures. They are powerful. They really should be. Every house should have them. And we use like a pint glass, or what I was doing all year was I was buying the big jars of beetroot and keeping them for doing saltwater cures, because they have a good big mouth in them too.
We were buying big jars of honey here, and we did the same thing. Kept
Yes.
Honey jars, yeah.
Yes. And what you do is you fill it 3/4 of the way up with rock salt or Himalayan salt, but pure rock salt, not table salt. Then you cover the top of the salt. Oh, sorry. You put in your I-Ching coins.
That's right.
And if you cannot get I-Ching coins, any brass coins. It has to be brass.
They're easy enough. Yes, the I-Ching are easy enough. We got them easy enough on, I think it's Amazon or somewhere.
Amazon, as long as they're the brass ones, because there are so many fake ones. Yeah. So make sure it's brass I-Ching coins. Yes. And you sit them in a circle, 5 in a circle, and 1 in the middle on top of the salt, with the 4 designs facing up. So that's the yang side. Have that facing up towards you, the 6 coins. Then you cover them all then with filtered water. And you place them in each section in your home that you have sectioned off. Now, I always place them in a vase or a plant pot. Okay. Or a big cup or something, because at times it can overflow and they will destroy your furniture or your windowsill.
Yeah, we have plates and things under them too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing that, having plates, and then of course my cats were getting at them, so I put them into flower pots. Okay. And also you can buy them big lanterns. They're beautiful. You get them in pennies and different places, and you just open the door, you can put a candle into it, or you can put anything into it. And I find those glasses fit in there nicely. Okay. And then the door closes, but the top of it's still open.
Yes, it's
so the saltwater cure can breathe. Yeah. Never put a saltwater cure in a press.
Okay.
Or enclose it in anything. It has to be out, and it has to be open to the air. But they are great for absorbing anything stagnant. Okay. And they absorb and get rid of negative energies. So you will see them working, and they start kind of going a bit white and a bit crusty around the sides, till eventually the whole thing is just pure white salt. Beautiful to look at, but do not touch. And once you place your saltwater cure in, try not move it again, because it's absorbing negative energy. So once you move it, it will move that around. And you top it up during the year if it gets very dry. Top it up with water.
Check it. We have one in a press, actually. I'm going to move it now when I'm finished. It's in a guac. We didn't want to put it into Sophia's room, but we'll push it into it now. It was in the end of the guac, but the press was in it. So it's just like it's in a cupboard. Big cupboard.
If there's a lot of space above it in the cupboard, if it's...
Oh, there is.
A lot of space above it.
There is good space above it.
Open. Yeah, well, it should be fine. But most cupboards or presses when you put it in, they're quite low down,
No,
there's
no.
not a lot of space. So if there's
Oh,
a lot of space, it should be fine.
okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's
But
fine.
at the end of the year, then when they're to be replaced, always handle them with rubber gloves.
Yes.
Never touch the salt. Never touch the salt because it's full of negative energy. So
Yeah.
handle it with rubber gloves. And if you need to pour the water out of it, go outside, get a drain that's running away from the house, and pour the water into that, and then seal the whole thing in a bag for recycling.
Okay. Well, that's amazing. So we talked about the history of feng shui, how it
Well,
came about. You talked about the different type of houses, the astrology effect, the effect of the numbers. You talked about the bagwas and how to enhance your prosperity, your love, and your marriage, and all these different things. And we talked a little bit about the numbers that are in each room. And when we talked about the numbers in each room, sometimes when as you say, the annual number changes every year. So what actually happens is the numbers change every year, but some rooms it can bring in bad energy because we know by the numbers. So the way we counteract that is with our metals, with our water cures, with our salt cures, with our red earth cures, with our earth cures, with all the different cures. So there's many, when you
so
as
many years.
when you as a feng shui person goes in, feng shui expert goes in to do the work, there's so many layers you have to deal with. You're dealing with the outside of the house, then you're dealing at 2 or 3 levels with the inside of the house. And then you haven't even got to talk about positioning of beds, positioning of this, about the door, where you should be from the door and all this. There's so much more.
There are so many layers, and then we also take in the person's personal triagram, and that tells you what colors support them and feed them, what directions they should be sitting with their back to in order to support them further, and for digestive issues and for sleeping, and we have that. So as you said, there are so many layers to it. When you go into a house, it's not just looking at this and looking at that and leaving it.
No.
And if I have to do a consultation remotely, I get so many photos and walkthrough videos and everything because you need to see everything. And you could have a room that has this most beautiful navy wallpaper or red wallpaper, but they're needing metal. And you have to remove that. You have to remove it. The wallpaper that color. So I would always recommend paint and decorate all very neutrally. So that then you can take in the elements then that's needed, and they're changed every year, but keep everything nice and neutral.
So that's another point. So every year you send out the new numbers, and you tell them where to put them, because the metals and the thing change every year.
You do. You might have the odd room that will always need metal, but in most areas, you take your remedies out, you cleanse them under the moon and wash them, and intentionally put them back into your room in a different area usually. But I grid it out and I show you exactly where to put them.
That's right.
Every year they change about.
Yeah, they change about every year around the 5th or 6th of February, isn't it?
Yeah.
And each new year. One other little thing, another little tip for people there they might know. I know that your cooker is a very, very important aspect of the thing. And you should always keep it clean, number one. Behind our cooker, we have a mirror. So it's a splashback, and that enhances
it reflects the burners, you see, exactly. So, I mean, if it's reflecting the burners, it means that you're cooking more, which gives the impression of abundance.
Yes.
Because years ago, it was only the rich that ate really good food.
Yeah.
So because it's reflecting the burners and reflecting the pots, means there's a lot of food being cooked. There's wealth in the house.
It does well for the house, and mirrors enhance. They make things bigger. Yeah.
And at the same time, they can also reflect bad things. So you should always beware where your mirror is facing. It's like when you come in a front door, I'd say a lot of people know that anyway. do not be facing a mirror. Don't have a mirror facing your front
That's
door.
right. Yeah.
You know, as soon as the energy comes in,
It's
it's
been
hitting the mirror and it's
going
back
back
out
out.
again.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
and don't have a mirror facing an area that's always cluttered or that's always a place where you would hold your bills and letters and everything.
Yeah.
Don't be having a mirror or anything that's reflecting that, because all you're
Mm.
going to have is an abundance of bills.
Mm.
You know, so
Mm.
always be aware what the mirror is reflecting, and never ever have your mirror reflect in your bed.
In the work that I do as well, I come across that so much. That people have bedrooms, and there's always these presses with mirrors.
Mirrors from floor to ceiling.
Whole bed is cut in it, and they'll be telling you, "I don't sleep well. I'm tired." And this, look, get rid of that.
Exactly. Yeah. Or some of my partners had an affair, or that we've split up, or so. That's what it does. You see, it reflects. It doubles what it sees. So I mean, if you're a single person, it's doubling the loneliness. If you're a couple, it's doubling that energy, and it's taking in a third person. And there's so much. So never. And it's the same with TVs in your bedroom.
Mm.
We don't recommend them at all, but a lot of people like them. Make sure that the TV is not facing your bed, reflecting against your bed, because once the TV is off, it's like a mirror.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's the same thing if it's reflecting the bed.
Yeah, lots of people, when you go into houses and they have headaches and they have this and they can't sleep, mirrors facing their bed. Not to mention sometimes the color of the bedroom, it could be red fire, right? Or black is fire as well, isn't it?
The black water.
Water, yeah, sorry. And then they have their phones each side of the bed plugged in, the television there. They're sleeping in
Did you be as well to sleep outside under one of the electrical poles?
100%, yeah. And
When
sometimes when you try to tell people that, and that this is so dangerous, and so and no matter what you do, feng shui wise, no matter what I do geopathically wise, if they don't, you can only tell them, but if they don't change it, nothing will happen.
Exactly. We can only advise. It's up to them to make the changes. You know, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
And but there are so many things. But you were saying about the cooker as well. Always make sure that each hob is working, each burner is working. That's another very important thing financially. And make sure you have no leaks.
Mm.
Leaks.
In taps and things. Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. You know,
I remember one time doing a house for a fella, and he couldn't sleep, but there was a big red range under his bed in the room. Do you know what I mean? So we had to. I made him put some kind of earth, fire, water, to a color or something of water had to go over.
To dampen the fire.
Dampen the fire so he could sleep.
Yeah.
You know, he's one of them I couldn't sleep, but when you're kind of aware of these things from a feng shui aspect, you can see them straight away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is so true. Another tip we'd always say is never have photos of your children or anything in your bedroom.
That's right.
Because your bedroom is your sanctuary. It's your it's just for you to. Should never have photos of family or children in your bedroom, but you can have photos of the parents in the children's room.
That's right. Our family in the children's room, because that actually
helps them feel connected.
Connected,
yeah, exactly. You know, and then a lot of houses, the front door is walking right through to the back doors, facing the back door and stuff. So there are remedies for that, because I mean that's bad because the energy is coming in the door. So, you know, so curtains.
Our stairs running down to the front door, another bad one.
That's like my house. Yeah, but there are remedies. Yeah, you can put up the wee Swartzy crystal and tiny little mirrors around the door to reflect the energy, to disperse it back through the house. So there are remedies for absolutely everything.
No, so I think we've covered an awful lot there. I think we can leave it at that. We've given people, you've given people a fair and depth oversight of what you do, and you've only talked some of the layers, Joanna. there's so many more that goes into it. But it's up to people how far they want to go. But I highly recommend you, and I highly recommend Feng Shui. And I know your teacher is one of the best women in the world, Amanda. And she is, and she's so supportive. And so if people want to contact you, where do they contact you? How do they contact you?
Well, they can contact me by phone. Do you want me to give it to you now? Because I had given it to Melanie.
Okay, but give it here on the thing now too. It's no harm.
Right, so 086-669-3414 is my mobile. You can
and also just to say that if you're phoning outside Ireland, is 00353. Okay.
Yes, exactly. And you can contact me. I'm on Facebook under Joanna O'Kane, and I'm also a Facebook page, The Joys of Feng Shui.
Okay, cool.
And then I'm on Instagram as well under Joanna O'Kane, and you'll see that I put up tips on Feng Shui there as well.
And what about an email?
Email, yes, it's joannaokane@gmail.com. Everything's very simple with me. And then I have another email address, which is thejoysofengshui@gmail.com.
Okay, that's cool. Is there anything else you want to add before we finish this? Any other things you want to say about Feng Shui?
No, it's if anybody have any, if you have any questions, or you didn't understand something that I have said to you, Paul, they can just message me and I'll explain what I'm talking about. I'm easy like that there. If someone wants to know something or they're stuck or anything, message me and I'll just reply. There's no harm with anything at all, because I believe every house, every single building should be using Feng Shui. It would make your life so much easier too.
No, I agree with you 100%. Because I've seen the power of it, and I've seen the power of the energy of what you did with work for other people as well, and how I really connected with Feng Shui first. I got this run of houses to do, land and house healing, divining, and I walked into maybe 5 or 6 houses in a row. There were referrals from one to the other. And I kept saying to them, what do you want me here for? Why do you want me here? Geez, the energy here is amazing. I was told to get the geopathic done, but they were all Feng Shui'd. And I said, who Feng Shui the houses? Amanda had done them. And that's what made me contact Amanda. And she said to me when I contacted her, she said, I knew 3 months ago you were going to ring me.
Isn't she amazing? Oh, Paul.
Yeah, she's unbelievable.
She really is. She's so intuitive. It was actually through my mother I met her.
Yeah.
Because I was, again, in the corner, always sick, and my mother booked in Feng Shui.
Pulled you out of the corner.
Pulled me out of the corner, and the two of us went off to Wexford.
Exactly.
Straight on Amanda, and that just completely changed my life.
Yes,
I rang Sarah, my daughter, and while I was on the course, I rang her and I said, Sarah, take a photograph of my bedroom, will you, and send it to me? Because we were chatting about bedrooms at the stage. She sent me the photo, Paul. I nearly collapsed when I saw the photo. It looked like a student's accommodation, and that is no joke.
Wow, okay.
I had this big, beautiful house, but my bedroom was this awful looking thing with bags everywhere. The bed just didn't look that comfortable or plush or inviting. Blinds behind the bed, no curtains, no colour. Just looked like student accommodation. And I was there, it's no wonder that we never, we didn't grow up, basically. We were still acting like students. Yeah. So when I moved us from that room and everything, it changed everything.
Yes. It's
just, it opened my eyes.
Yes, 100%. And when I came back to after that, I was so aware of stuff blocking stuff, chi blocking the front door, all this kind of stuff, and still am today because I'll be honest with it. But I think since we put in the water thing at the back, the change that has come, she's really
embracing it now. Brilliant.
Yeah. Listen, we must leave it at that because we've gone on. We could talk for another hour, sure.
I know.
thank you for coming on and for doing this and for sharing your medicine. And by sharing your medicine, I believe that it's helping you reach out there to people that need you, you know. And
Yeah.
if out of this comes one person that'll change their life, like it's changed our lives.
Yeah. Yeah, and it is, because, you know, people be scared and they'll be thinking, oh God, you know, that's a lot of money for this and that, but that's a once off,
Yeah, but
you
look,
know, and
people
it
say it's a lot of money,
changes.
but what you're doing is investing in yourself, in your
And your
health,
home.
and in your home, your wealth, and your health.
Yeah, and it's a once off, because every
That's
other
what
year
was.
it's just changing the remedies, you know, but it's just
Yeah,
once, and that's going to hold you for the rest of your life. You know,
yeah.
and that's the amazing thing about it. So yeah, and I thank you and Melanie for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
No, we're honored.